Welcome to Emotions and Stories. Not every house is just a silent witness. Sometimes houses do talk, and our today's story is about one such house. So let's begin today's story, The Ghost of the Gulmohar Villa. Nestled on the outskirts of Pune, Gulmohar Villa was a sprawling old bungalow surrounded by dense trees and an eerie silence. It had been vacant for years until the Mehta family decided to move in. With its creaking gates and ivy covered walls, the villa was perfect for their dream of a peaceful countryside life. What the Mehtas didn't know, however, was that the villa already had an occupant, a ghost named Arjun. But Arjun wasn't your typical ghost. He didn't groan or rattle chains. Instead, he was friendly, witty, and had an insatiable curiosity about the living. The Mehtas, Ravi, his wife Naina, and their teenage daughter Priya settled into their new home quickly. It wasn't long before strange things began happening, like lights flickered on their own, the aroma of freshly baked cookies wafted through the air, despite the oven being empty, and Priya's stuffed toys were often found rearranged in amusing poses. Must be the wind, Ravi said dismissively when Naina pointed out the moving curtains despite the window being shut. Or maybe this house has a personality, Priya teased. But one night, Priya was awoken by the sound of someone humming. She sat up in bed, her heart racing. In the dim moonlight streaming through her window, she saw a faint outline of a young man sitting on her study chair. Who are you? Priya stammered. The figure turned to her and smiled. Relax, Priya, I'm Arjun. I've been here for decades. Welcome to my home. Priya stared in shock. You are a ghost? Technically, yes, but I prefer to think of myself as a long term resident, Arjun quipped. Once Priya got over her initial shock, she found herself oddly comfortable around Arjun. He was unlike any ghost she had read about. He loved to chat about old movies, shared tips on perfecting her school projects, and even helped her ace a quiz on Indian history. After all, Arjun had lived through much of it. This is so unfair, Priya joked one evening. You've had decades to prepare for that quiz. Perks of being a ghost, Arjun said and grinned. But keeping Arjun a secret wasn't easy. Naina often noticed Priya giggling in her room alone and assumed it was teenage silliness. Ravi, on the other hand, dismissed the odd occurrences around the house as coincidence. One day, Naina was panicking over dinner party she was hosting. The caterer had cancelled last minute and she had no idea how to manage. Don't worry, Mom, Priya said, trying to suppress a smile. I know someone who can help. Who? Naina asked. Just trust me, Priya said, running upstairs to her room. That evening, as Naina cooked frantically, dishes seemed to prepare themselves. Vegetables were chopped, spices appeared perfectly measured, and the dessert was somehow ready before the main course. Priya, how did you do all this? Naina asked, amazed. Priya grinned. Let's just say we had a little invisible help. The Mehta's happy coexistence with their ghostly roommate continued until one day when Ravi decided to fix the attic. While rummaging through old trunks, he found a dusty photo album. Inside was a picture of a young man leaning against the tree in front of the villa. Scribbled at the bottom were the words Arjun 1943. That night, Ravi showed the photo to Priya. Do you know anything about this? He asked. Priya hesitated before confessing, "Actually, Dad, I've been meaning to tell you. Arjun is still here. He's the one who's been helping us." Before Ravi could respond, a familiar voice echoed through the room. "Hello, Mr. Mehta." Ravi spun around to see Arjun, translucent but smiling warmly. "I'm sorry for the surprise. I've been meaning to introduce myself properly." Though initially skeptical, Ravi eventually warmed up to Arjun. After all, it's hard to dislike someone who cleans the house while you're at work and helps your daughter with her homework. Over time, Arjun became an integral part of the family. He would join their game nights, albeit as a spectator, share stories from his past, and even give Ravi gardening tips. The Mehtas stopped seeing him as a ghost and more as a quirky, unseen family member. Gulmohar Villa, once a lonely, forgotten house, now buzzed with life and a touch of the supernatural. The Mehtas often joked that the coolest ghost in the neighborhood, one who was more than fright, and Arjun, he was just happy to finally have company after all these years. I hope you enjoyed today's story. Do let us know in the comments below. Thank you.